Boys and girls, today we are going to be transforming ourselves into Lego figurines. I printed out this example of a Lego figurine so that I can use this as a reference while I'm drawing. And as I've looked at it and studied it, I've noticed that there are just simple basic shapes that are used to create this figure. So let's start up here at the head. It looks like a square with rounded corners. And I want to make sure that I have it big enough, so I'm going to make it about 4 finger spaces up at the top of my paper. I don't want it up at the very top in case I decide to put on a hat or hair or something like that, so I want to leave a little space up here at the top. Moving down on the reference sheet, I see a tiny rectangle for a neck. And that neck is sitting on top of the body, which is the shape of a trapezoid. So it has a smaller top, diagonal sides, and a wider bottom. Continuing down our figure, I see another rectangle. This one seems to be the width of the trapezoid. This would be about where your waistline is, or just below your belly button. And then for the legs, I see 2 long rectangles. I noticed that the rectangles have a little space in the middle, so I want to make sure I leave a little gap as well. Now let's go up and focus on the arms. The arms, if we put them together, would make a shape called a pentagon. It has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I cut it in half and split it, there's half of a pentagon and there's the other half of a pentagon. So I could start up at my shoulder, make a diagonal, straight down, and across at the waistline. Same thing on the other side, a diagonal, straight down, and across at the waistline. Easy way to make the Lego arms. The hands look like letter C's, or letter U's, or letter N's. But first I need to add my wrist, and then that letter C with an inside one as well, or smaller version of it. Like you have a capital and then a lowercase. So these are the basic details for my Lego figure. Now I want to transform it into a Lego figure of me. This is going to become a self-portrait, or a picture of me, the artist. So I want to think about different features that make me look like me, such as my hair, the way my hair is, whether it's short or long or up in a ponytail or in a braid. If I was wearing a hat, what types of clothes I would be wearing today. If I have freckles or glasses or any other things like that that make me me. So I'd like to start by adding in my bangs. You can start with your hair, or you can start with your facial features, whatever you choose to start with. So I'm going to let you continue on adding in your attributes or features or characteristics that make you you. Try to have at least 2 characteristics. Are you still thinking about ways that you can personalize your Lego figurine? Think about what you're wearing today. I'm wearing a skirt, so I needed to change the clothing so that it looked like I was wearing a skirt in my Lego figurine. I also added a horizontal line for my shoes, just to keep that simple and in the style of the Legos. Think about different activities or hobbies that you enjoy after school. I, for one, enjoy creating art, so I included a paintbrush as a symbol to represent that. Maybe you like cooking, or you play a sport, or any kind of club or after-school activity that you participate in. Once you are finished with your pencil drawing, you can swap your pencil for your Sharpie marker. You need to trace everything that you just drew with pencil. Trace it out in Sharpie marker so that we can see it much easier. This will help clean up your picture. Any pencil lines that you still see after you're done with the Sharpie marker, erase those. You don't have to erase all of the pencil lines, just the ones that you might see because you didn't exactly trace those with the Sharpie. Now that you're finished tracing everything with the Sharpie marker, swap your Sharpie marker for crayons. You're going to color every part of your Lego figurine. Pay attention to details, but you also want to simplify them. In my shirt, I have lots of black and white stripes on it, but I don't want to draw all of them. So I just simplified it by only adding 3 white stripes and 4 black stripes, enlarging that so that you can still see the detail, but I didn't have to draw every single one. The same thing for my skirt. It was very colorful, very detailed. You can see here's the fabric that I was wearing today. Lots of color, lots of wording going on, but I didn't want to add all of that in my picture. So instead I used the big splashes of color to represent the picture, the image of my skirt. If you still have a lot of time remaining, go ahead and add a background to your picture. You can include a pattern in there or colors that represent you. I used my favorite color, purple, in my background. I also snuck in another attribute in my background, my love of Disney. If you look very carefully, you might be able to put together Mickey Mouse in the picture. If you don't have enough time to create a background, you can save that and finish it at a later time. Just leave your picture as this with a plain white background. But if you do have time, add in a colorful background. And there's your completed Lego self-portrait. Thanks for creating with me today.